All right, guys. So here we are. We're in a real PHP app now that I built, and this is like a little to-do app. And I'm gonna post this at the end of the playlist of how to build it. I already released this video a couple days ago, building this full stack app from scratch. So I'll link that in the description. But if you're just learning PHP, you might want to wait to watch that until we go through all the basics, so that you know what's going on. But look, guys, this is PHP on the background. Now, you might recognize all of this stuff. Look, we have regular JavaScript file, a regular CSS file, and then we have a file here that says index, but instead of .html, it says .php. And that's really all you have to do, guys, to make a website go from static to dynamic, is instead of having an index.html, you just really have to change the file extension name to .php. And that, just doing that, you don't have to download any special software, jump through any hoops. Just doing that converts a page to a PHP page. And the reason why PHP and HTML and everything work so well together is, as I explained in the past video, PHP has been around since the beginning of the internet, and it was literally purpose built and made and invented to work seamlessly with all other core technologies of the web, like HTML, CSS, and JavaScript. So look at this page here. We have PHP all up here on the top of the page. We have an opening PHP tag and a closing PHP tag. And then on the bottom here, look, guys, we just have regular old HTML. But then you can see more as we scroll down. We actually do drop into PHP several times again in the middle of our HTML, and it works just fine. Amazing, right? Look at that. Drop into PHP, go back to HTML, drop back into PHP. As I said, PHP and HTML were literally made for each other. They were made to work together. They go together like peanut butter and jelly, guys. And this is why today, the internet, even though nobody likes to talk about it, over 73% of the internet still runs on PHP, because it's just so easy to use, and it's so ingrained in the internet and what the internet is, that it's going nowhere. Even though people like to talk crap about it, they don't like writing it, or like this industry of learning code is anti-PHP for some reason. I'm not sure why. There's just no escaping it, guys. It's everywhere. And now you might also notice that there's also these pages called like toggle.php, db.php, delete, and these have no HTML on them. And what these pages are, these are just logic pages that actually run stuff in the background based off of what the user does. And then when the code is executed, it gets sent, and our index.php page basically rearranges itself on the fly for the user as they use the app. That's what makes the page dynamic. Again, dynamic pages change for the user based on the input from the user on the fly. They're not static. They're not just those HTML, CSS poster pages. This is like a real living, breathing creature, if you will, just on the internet. So this is the back end of the code. Let's actually look at our app. So if you use Visual Studio Code and all you know is HTML, CSS, maybe a little bit of JavaScript, you're probably used to being able to click Go Live here, start your server, and view whatever page you're working. But if you do that with PHP, something's going to happen. You're going to get this. Live Server actually doesn't speak PHP. You need to send your PHP code through a web server that has something called a PHP interpreter in it. And the PHP interpreter, just like it sounds, speaks PHP. So it knows how to actually speak PHP, and then it can actually render the web page as it's supposed to look. So regular old live server on Visual Studio Code does not have that interpreter. So we can't use it to view and edit our web page. So let's actually kill that live server because it's not doing anything. And let's actually start up some software that will allow us to view our PHP page. So I'm on Mac OS, so I use a program called MAMP, M-A-M-P. And if you're on Windows, you might use another program that's very similar, almost identical. They have all the same functionality, just looks a little bit different. And that program is called XAMPP. So XAMPP right here. Different logo, really does the same thing, okay? You can download it for Windows. And we'll get to that in the next video, guys. We'll get you there. I'll get you set up with my setup here in just a second. But just know that there's software that you need to install on your computer. So that has that PHP interpreter built in so that you can view your PHP apps locally on your machine without having to launch them to the internet right away. And you would never want to build an app right away that's live on the internet because it'll get hacked immediately. Okay, trust me on that. So anyway, let's go ahead and I'm going to click this start button, and what that's going to do is it's going to start my PHP server with my PHP interpreter. And now if I can stay in Google Chrome, and I can just go up to my computer, open up a new tab, and just type in something called localhost. Now, localhost has all of my files stored in here in a folder called htdocs, which we'll learn more about in the next video. And this is all of my PHP projects. We're in the full stack to-do app, so if I click that, boom, now it opens. This is the actual app being produced by the PHP code. And this is just a to-do app. You've seen to-do apps before, but most of them, especially on YouTube, are built by people with just JavaScript, and maybe they use local storage to kind of save tasks if you refresh the page. This right here, guys, is actually a full-fledged dynamic PHP full-stack application that uses a backend database to actually store your data in a real database. So it's pretty cool. So if we wanted to add a task, let's say like workout, we hit the plus button. And I don't know if you caught it, but really fast the page actually refreshed, and we used PHP to send the data to the database, and then the database talked to our PHP, and our PHP dynamically spit out what's in our database, and it even styled it because we have CSS going too, right? Now if we do, just type another task, cool. We can put, this is a dynamic task, boom, we can add tasks, and again, every time we're clicking that, PHP, all of our PHP pages are working in the back end to talk to the database and then dynamically change what our page looks like on the fly. Now, we even have this counter up here, 0 out of 3. This is dynamic with PHP as well. So it knows we have 3 tasks. If I check one off with this check button, boom, really fast the page refreshed again, PHP talked to the database, and now it knows that we did 1 out of our 3 tasks have been completed. If we do this again, now it knows 2 out of 3 again. PHP dynamically updating the page on the fly for us. We can delete a task, and now it knows we only have 1 out of 2 completed. We can clear them all. And then this is actually with JavaScript. This is how you use JavaScript comes into play here. We use JavaScript to tell PHP, hang on, I'm going to do my thing first before you submit this. Are you sure you want to do this? If we hit cancel, then it won't fire off. If we hit OK, boom, then PHP will take care of business for us, right? So again, guys, this is how PHP is working. Now in the next video, I want to show you guys how to get that software so that you can actually start doing PHP with me. And I already have a video that I've posted on the channel. I'm going to add it to this playlist. It's like an hour-long free course preview. It might be less than an hour. And it walks you through. It's actually a video from my actual paid course, but I put it here on YouTube for free. It's going to tell you how to either install MAMP or XAMPP if you're on Windows, how to get PHP working on your computer, how to set up your errors, how to set up all your settings for the software. It's not hard at all, but you do have to do all of this. You have to do that step if you want to continue learning PHP with me in this free playlist. So go ahead and watch that video now, and then you'll be all set up. And then we'll come back to this project one more time, and I'll explain on a bigger level of how the data is being passed every time that we do stuff so that you get that final big picture, piece of the picture for PHP.